welcome back to another video. Thank you for subscribing and liking my channel. I am the Glimmer Witch, and today I bring you a brand new client and her very first set from me anyway. So on this video, I have sped this video up, so I thought I would leave in the prep, nail tip application and application of acrylic. This is Lanny. I've known her for, you know, 2 or 3 years now actually, but this is her first time visiting me, so we're giving her a lovely set of extensions in an ombre. I'm using a colour I've not used before, and I thought I'd video this one and leave in the tips and everything just to show you how I do it. I have sped this up because it's quite long otherwise. I haven't left in finish filing, but I have left in the filing for the tips. So I am using, I will explain as I'm going, I am using my Glitter Planet Outer Space Cuticle Pusher to push back her cuticles. We have cleansed and sanitised her hands and my hands. Once I've pushed back her cuticles, make sure I get all of that tissue, that non-living tissue off her nail beds. I then come in with a 180 grit file and I lightly etch that nail. And what you're looking for is a completely matte nail with nice scoring. So you don't want any shiny bits, you don't want to miss any corners. I'm not being horrendously hard-handed here. You don't want to be filing away layers of her nail. Literally, you just want it matte and lightly scored so that that acrylic has something to stick to. I always follow the same routine. With a new client, when I am doing this, I am explaining my the way that I do nails. So that's the first thing I do on any new client when I do their nails the first time. First thing, manage their expectations. I tell all of my clients you should have infills every 2 weeks, and then I explain that lots of my clients will go 3, sometimes even 4, although I don't suggest it. That way, if you get a new client, and especially when you're new to this, lifting can be a big issue because it takes time. It takes time to learn what works, it takes time to perfect your skills, and that way when they message you at 2.5 weeks and say, oh, I've got a nail lifting, you can manage their expectations perfectly and say, well, you are meant to have them infilled at 2 weeks, let's book you in for infills then, because they shouldn't be keeping their nails on for longer than 3 weeks really. Lots of clients do, and they're perfectly fine, but if they know that from the beginning, then you don't feel pressured if they have an issue, and they will. When you first start, you will have problems with lifting, you will have problems with nails popping off, it will take time, so manage them. Once I have made sure that all of those surfaces are nice and etched, I then come in with my cuticle bit. So my cuticle bit is a Skittle bit, as I've said before, got it from nail.supplies. My nail files are 100-180 grit files from Tracy Lou. So this bit just literally takes any excess tissue off. All that prep I've done, and you are still getting stuff off. So we get that done. I apologise if there's any noise in the background. My husband's home from work now. So once I've done with the e-file bit, I then brush the nails off with my toothbrush, and you are left with a nice matte prepared bed for your nail tips. So using Tracy Lou's tapered square tips, these are the new ones. As you may know if you used them, the original tapered square took a little bit longer to stick, so she very kindly sent me these to try, and they stick instantly. Love them. So I'm just making sure, sizing that tip up, making sure it's not too small. If you are in any doubt, go for the slightly bigger one and trim it down, rather than put on a tip that's too tight and you've got to push it on to make it fit. That doesn't work. These fitted beautifully. Nipped off the wings on a couple of them, but yeah, very quick. I mean, I've sped this up, but you're literally talking like less than 10 seconds, and I probably didn't need to leave them that long, to be honest. So yeah, love them. So get the tips onto all of those. I then come in with my stalk scissors to cut them. I've just got used to using these rather than tip cutters. I have cut the thumb out on all of this except for the pigment at the end, just to save time. So I come in with the stalk scissors. Because she's starting a new job soon, I advised her to start off quite short. While it takes me time to get to know what length suits her, what method suits her, whether I need to dehydrate twice or once, you know, these are things that will come with the experience of doing one person's nails, because they're all different, everybody's different. So I use my stalk scissors. We're going for a oval / almond. So come in, blend them wings in, they don't take much. Just make sure those side walls are nice, and then just shape. And I do this now because it's easier to do it now than it is to put the acrylic on and then do it after. So I get as much of my shaping done and dusted before I put any acrylic on. So just go back, check all of them, make sure I'm happy with the shaping before we start getting the acrylic out. I would say generally prep can take me anywhere between 25 and 40 minutes. Depends on length, depends on how oily their nails are, can depend on how bad their cuticles are, especially on the first one. I always allow 2 hours minimum for my first appointment, just because I'm getting them to fill out a treatment card, and we're discussing colours and styles and that sort of thing. And my first appointment is about telling them what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, talking about them, find out what they do with their hands, you know, find out what they were expecting to do, you know, if they've had nails done before, how long have they gone before having their infills, are they one of these people that likes to change their nails every 2 weeks, or are they a once a month get paid get the nails done person? Because if you know this, then you can manage what they expect from you. And a lot of times, once you've done nails for a while and you've got your prep sorted, you've got your ratio sorted, a lot of time any issues that come are actually client based anyway, they're not tech based. And it does take time to learn the difference. You know, it's took me a long time to get quite confident about, you know, turning around just saying, well, you know, you've gone 3.5 weeks, you're due infills. There's no point repairing nails 3.5 weeks after they've had them done. You know, they need infills, simple as. So once we've got those all filed and shaped, we will then be ready to move on to the fun bit, the acrylic bit. So for this set today, I am using BabyG, which is a new pink colour from Cjp. I'm using Crystal Glass as always, and I am using Robins Egg. Robins Egg was a really popular colour this year, so people do pick that. I'm about to order a second pot. So we're doing an ombre, and then we are putting a pigment over the top of that at the end. The pigment is Cloud 9 from the Glitter Fairy. So obviously telling you all the stuff I'm using as I'm using it. So I did leave the filing in for the thumb on this, but I didn't leave the application in on the thumb, just because I'm lazy and I couldn't be bothered to keep cutting the video. So I left it out. Very nice nail beds though, lovely nail beds. So just checking the length with her. Thumb was a little bit too long, so we take that down a little bit. Just check, you know, ask them, are you happy with that shape? Are you happy with that length? Brush all the dust off. And then I'm just using acetone on a lint-free pad. And that was me explaining to her about her shaping, why I sort of shaped them between an oval and an almond. It's just because of her nail bed. She's got really nice nail beds, so I knew it would suit her. So coming in with Dehydrator, so one dip of the brush does all 5 fingers, do them all first, and then I'm re-dehydrating each nail before I put that little clear layer on. As I've said before, I always put a clear layer on so that that nail bed is protected, to stop any colours staining her nail bed, and also just to make sure you've got that clear base, because clear acrylic is the strongest acrylic. So by sandwiching whatever you're doing between 2 layers of clear acrylic, you're doing a really strong nail, even if you're using powders. Both the powders I use today are strength powders anyway, but I do like to cap mine, and especially when you're doing an ombre. So I come in and dehydrate, wait for that to go chalky, pop that clear bead on, and because we're doing a whole hand of ombre, I'm going to come in and do all of the blue first. So that first bead goes on at the middle, blend it back, and then we just pat and press it down like so. And you need to keep this thin, because if you put your pink on, I've not worked with that pink before, I've not ombreed, I've not used it at all. So ombreing with it, I don't know how well it's going to ombre. So by doing that, I leave myself room to then come back in with another bead of blue at that tip, and I can blend it back up to refresh it if the pink covers too well. So just building that colour up on there, put it on, blend it back. So beautiful colour, this one. The picture that Lanny actually brought in was more of a nude pink, so it was more of a, let's say, a more or birthday suit type pink, but I gave her my swatch sticks and she picked BabyG. So I actually quite liked it, because the pink of BabyG and the blue made like a little purple bit in the middle, which made it quite nice. So yeah, I was pleased with how these came out. Was my application the best? No, they weren't as good as I wanted them to be. You know, she's got some cuticle, as you know. I don't like nipping cuticles, so that wasn't an option. Some shaping, but that will get better. So were they good enough to charge for? Absolutely. She was over the moon. So yeah, really pleased. So this is BabyG. Beautiful. It's like a glassy pinky lilac colour, but it actually ombreed very, very well. So when I do my ombre, the first bead goes on that blend area, the second bead goes on the cuticle. I've left this a little bit further out this time, and then I just build the colour up where I need it, and once I'm happy, I then cap the blend in clear. I only do the blend area unless I'm building apex as well, in which case I will use the whole thing. So, you know, did that one. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect application, but it's not bad. And you guys might be like me. I do have anxiety, and especially when I have a new client, I'm aware that I don't do my best work the first time I do their nails. It does take me 2 or 3 goes. Some people it's easier than others, and actually, you know, for a first time doing the nails, I was pleased. So yeah, just getting that BabyG on there, that was nice and easy. So capping that blend, because I'm also building a bit of an apex as well. Lanny is going to be working in a care home, or caring for people in their homes. So she's probably going to be quite hard on her hands. So it's better to start off short and see how her nails hold up as they're growing, than it is to give her a really long set and her break them straight away, or, you know, get lots of lifting. So that was the reasoning behind the length. So yeah, it's like a glassy pinky lilac type colour, but looked very, very pretty. So on that one, just coming in and refreshing that blue to get that blend. You can see from that side view she's got a nice natural arch bow in her nails, so you do have to be a little bit careful with your application, because if you put too much acrylic on there, you get this sort of dip thing. No other words to describe it. but you know, the structure is there. I can file that in. There wasn't masses of filing to do on these nails, so I didn't leave the finished filing in just because I didn't want the video to be too long. So I've ended up with 2 sets in today, so I've videoed both. I'm doing my mum's nails shortly, and I will be videoing those because I still haven't done them. Poor old mum. So once we get this acrylic on, it will then go, I skipped some, and it then goes to the pigment. So with the pigment, I have top coated the nails first, cured those for 60 seconds. They come out of the lamp, and I then get my pigment on a little makeup applicator, get it on the nail, and then I use my finger, or my thumb in this case, to rub it in. She just wanted that unicorn film over the top. So we do that, apply that, then I apply Cjp's Tack Top Gloss, cure for 30 seconds, bring it back out, top coat it again, cure that for 60 seconds, and then once they come out of the lamp, give them a few seconds to cool down, and then I apply cuticle oil to all the nails. And that is your finished set. 1 set of blue and pink ombre with unicorn pigment. Loved them, and she was over the moon. It's very nice pigment to use actually, so I got this one from the Glitter Fairy. She does a very good subscription service, so you can get glitters delivered every month, and I've built up a very good collection. Mine's on hold at the moment just because I've got so many and I haven't got any storage, but that is your finished set, so I'll leave it there. I've left a little video and a photo of the finished nails. Please do give me a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think, hints and tips, you know, or if it's helped, that sort of thing. And I will be back very soon with another video. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.